Oh, there we go. Hello and welcome this morning to the Monday Morning Overflow. It took a second for that to come in. Hello and welcome this morning. Yep, all the levels are working. Happy Monday morning as we prepare for this week of March 2nd, 2026. I'd like to warmly welcome you this morning to this class. If you do not have a journal, you know what? The link is actually not in the description box, but I will put it up there before the class, before the next one. You can download the Overflow interval PDF. I will make sure that that's up by the time we get to the 5 o'clock hour. But let's go ahead and take a moment to, from a seated position in your chair, we're just going to do an opening exercise for the emotional sensory core. So think about your emotional sensory core as your brain, how your brain sees something, your voice, your mouth, how you speak about something. Your collarbones in your chest are how you are behaving in the face of a circumstance. Do I move towards it? Do I move away from it? Your heart is your emotions and sensation. Your diaphragm is how do you breathe in the face of a circumstance. Your upper abdomen is your past experiences, and your future is your pelvis and your lower abdomen. So as experience comes in, I am responding to every experience in my day with information that is being derived from how much I am able to sense into these areas along my emotional sensory core. One of the things that we are doing in this practice is we are trying to make as much room as we can for those experiences to flow. I'm just checking to make sure this is on because it did something very weird. One of the things that we're doing is we're checking, we are making sure that these experiences, yep, there we go, are able to flow. We want to make as much room as we can. So if you think about that experience brings with it like a comet of aliveness that lands into my emotional sensory core in some way. So for me, I had something that was pretty sad, and the longer the day went on, the more the sadness grew. And so this morning, I want to start with think about whatever strong emotion that you have that has occurred yesterday or today. We're going to practice today's exercises in how do we make as much room as possible as we can for this experience. You know what? Sorry, let me do one more thing here. Learning as I go. So feel how you are connected to your seat and move away from your desktop so that you can have a little bit more room to move. I hope the audio is still working. We'll find out whether or not. So I'm moving away from my desktop, and what I'm trying to do is to notice where do I feel the aliveness of that emotion land into my system first. Which part of my emotional sensory core catches it? For me, it's my heart and my head. So the first thing I want to be able to do is make room for these two, and I'm just making that initial contact with my hand, and my hand on my head, my hand on my heart. And then I'm feeling how are my hips and my feet supported by my seat, supported by where the floor is and by the seat. So I feel both of my feet connected. I feel my hips connected, and as I rock back and forth, the weight of that connection changes side to side. And so I want to know, what does it feel like? What does it feel like to be supported by my seat, to be supported by the floor? What word stands out? And now that you can really feel whichever area along your emotional sensory core where you feel the aliveness happening, you can place your hands on your lap. Or for me, I feel it so strongly in my heart still. And the goal is how connected, how slow can I move? How connected to my experience of support, and how slowly can I move? Meaning, if I'm feeling it in my heart, and I'm feeling supported by, when I'm leaning over, by my right hip, I want to stop and feel, as I breathe on my exhale, can I feel my heart resting down into my right hip and the support that is there? I'm breathing to the contact of my hip. I'm exhaling and resting down into the contact of my hip. And I'm letting my heart do the same. So wherever you feel, or you're letting your brain soften, or you're letting your throat, maybe there's something you oversaid, maybe there's something that you undersaid. Notice where you stand and see if you can, we're inviting that experience in to feel rested. And the slower that I move, the more my body begins to reorganize. So again, coming back to center, breathing on your exhale, resting into that connection. And then coming back to center as you're ready. Give it another minute here. Now we're going to move very, very slowly. You're going to arch back. And then you're going to roll forward. We're moving so slow that we can feel the different patches of what restriction that we're feeling. And we want to slow down with those. And can I help the area where I'm feeling the restriction find its way into the unclenching into the rest. So it's not as much about me stretching it, it's more about the rest. When I look at my quality of support for me, I'm going to just type it in. Feel free to share it, you guys. Feel free to share yours. My quality of support is softness, and the experience, the two big prominent emotions I'm experiencing are sadness and pride. What feels like pride, but more frustrated. Angry pride. So from there, I'm trying to bring these experiences together. The softness coming into relationship with that in my body. So I feel it in my throat, in my head, in my heart. Notice what you're feeling, and we're returning to bending forward and back or side to side. Remember, don't go so far into the movement that there's no room for the experience to change. One of the participants is saying cradled and powerlessness. Let's try again the side to side. Noticing on the one side, and then to the other. And as you're moving, you want to notice, where do I feel patches of tension or patches of effort? I'm going to take a moment and go to your page that you're working with. And you want to draw on your body diagram, where are the patches of restriction that you feel that are the most prominent. And that's where you're going to be offering the support of the percussion tool. So we're going to turn on the percussion. And we want to trace that. And we're doing the same thing with our breathing in this position. So I'm breathing to it. And as I'm exhaling, I'm softening that down into the support. super, super slow. Another participant is saying anger and sadness. Right, so notice that. I'm going to turn the mic off to do the percussion on my chest so it's not loud. And then we want to turn that off. We're going to go back to that stretch again. Whichever one that really you could feel the most. And we're making room. I'm making room for the anger or the sadness. And I'm letting it find its way into being held in the softness as I exhale. So I'm feeling it. And then from that position, we're going to then move into our rest position. I'm going to move the camera just up here. Go ahead and make your way into your rest pose. Yep. And we're going to do a 20-minute rest. We want to be as gentle as we possibly can. And see if you can notice your scripture statement too. I'm still working with the one from last week. Spirit gives birth to spirit. How do I make room for that? Spirit gives birth to spirit. So as you lay down, you are offering this rest to that part of yourself that is feeling powerless, that's feeling sad, that's feeling angry, that's feeling overwhelmed. That's the part where I'm saying, I can feel where I am connected to the floor now. I'm saying this support belongs to me. How am I connected to the floor now? I'm going to set the timer for 20 minutes. And I'm going to guide you into the rest and then turn off the audio to bring you back out together. So first we're just going to notice your points of contact in this position. And on each exhale, you're allowing your body to unclench as best you can and rest down into how you're held. So we want to take a moment and notice if any of the parts that you were connected to were able to rest. If they were, you want to go ahead and breathe into those areas and bring yourself more deeper into that. You want to move more deeply into that on your exhale, allowing that area to rest to the best of your capacity. And there's some type of opening that will occur as you do that. You want to be able to move back to the seated position, allowing that opening to maintain. And in this 4 o'clock segment, we move towards something that we have been avoiding. So we want to go take an action. This is also like an exercise. I'm moving towards the thing I've been avoiding. I'm going to engage with it for a few minutes, and then we're going to come back to the 5 o'clock movement again to do another short movement. So the 5 o'clock one will be like a 5-minute movement, 1 minute rest, and then, 5-minute movement, 1 minute massage, and then a break, and then we do the 5:30 rise and shine. So we're going to do another movement into rest before that. So we want to take an action knowing that I'm coming back to rest. So however agitating it is to go take that action, be able to know that I'm coming right back into this class here shortly. I'm going to close this out and then come back in again. You guys should be able to come right back into the 5 o'clock one through the YouTube 5 o'clock movement. It's not going to be in the overflow. It's going to be in the movement one, okay? I'll see you guys shortly.